Hey guys, so now that I've set up my Xperia C4, just wanted to do a quick little comparison here with the other mid-range offering, the Xperia M4 Aqua. I think a lot of people might be wondering which one gives you the most bang for buck here. I think both of them coming in quite similar in terms of the price, maybe the C4 slightly more expensive, but they do differ in quite a few different areas, and we can check it out in this video. Basically to see what the main strengths and weaknesses are of these two. Obviously the first thing that you can notice straight away on the Xperia C4 is a bigger device here, 5.5 inches versus 5 inches on the M4 Aqua, and not only is it a bigger display, it's also a higher resolution display, 401 ppi versus 294 ppi on the M4 Aqua, and it's not a bad display on the M4 Aqua. It's very serviceable, but when I did actually turn on the C4, I did actually notice how sharp things were in comparison to the M4 Aqua. Not sure if you can basically see here on the camcorder, but if you actually look at the displays in real life, you'll definitely note how sharp the display is on the C4. So if you're into your pixels, you really enjoy the pixel density on the C4 versus the M4 Aqua. Both of them coming with traditional LCD technologies, so the viewing angles are decent, but not amazing. Neither of them have the kind of sorts of technologies you'd get with the Z series of Sony phones, such as the triluminous tech. But I think the C4 does benefit from Mobile Bravia engine, as you can see here, so you do get a little bit more advanced in terms of the customization. You also have the super vivid mode, which I should have actually turned on, so that we can get some nice pop when it comes to the colours. Other than that, the actual build quality of both of them is a little bit different as well. With the C4, Sony's gone for a more kind of conventional rubberized plastic look versus the kind of sort of glassish kind of build on the M4 Aqua, which is actually plastic, but it does look like a kind of glass material. Arguably, I'd say that the M4 does feel a little bit more premium than the C4. However, the M4 obviously has that issue when it comes to the fingerprints. As you can see, it does look a little bit grimy when you're holding it up to your ear, whereas the matte kind of finish here on the C4 is much better at resisting like fingerprints and grime and things like that. However, the actual M4 Aqua does come obviously with that fantastic IP, is it 68? I think it's 68 certified certification, meaning that you can basically go into the bath with it, you can use it in the rain, etc. As far as I'm aware, the C4 doesn't have that certification, so you might need to be a little bit more careful with the C4 when it comes to dropping it in the bath, etc. I think there have been some water tests on the C4, and it has survived, but it's not, I don't official from Sony, so do bear that in mind. In terms of the kind of specs here, we do get slightly different in terms of the processors. We are getting a Snapdragon 615 in the M4 Aqua versus your MediaTek, which is a MT6752 Cortex A53 in the C4, and I will be doing a dedicated video checking out the speed and cameras between these two to see if there is any like major differences, but so far to me it seems that both of them seem to be about equivalent really when it comes to most day-to-day stuff. So I think the MediaTek processor does push things along quite nicely. However, where I do think there's going to be massive differences in terms of the gaming, because you do benefit from the Mali T760 MP2 in the C4 versus the anemic Adreno 405, which, as I've already done some tests on, doesn't do very well really. And the other big issue with the M4 Aqua, which has annoyed me about the device, is the internal storage, which you don't actually have this issue with the C4, which is quite strange really. You can see we do have 16 gigs internal versus the 8 gigs internal on the M4 Aqua. And it does mean, like, if you've got a lot of email accounts, etc., after you've set everything up and all said and done, you'll probably only have like a gig left on the M4 Aqua, so you definitely need a micro SD, whereas it's not so necessary on the C4. The C4 also comes with a dual SIM variant, which I do have here. This is the C4 Dual, and you will find the dual SIM compartment here, which is quite useful for people who have multiple SIMs. Don't get that on the M4, unfortunately. The other main difference I think here is that the C4 has the speaker on the back there, as you can see. I haven't yet to test it in full, but I probably will do a dedicated test. You can see it's on the actual corner here on the M4. So the M4 speaker is a little bit anemic. I've actually tested that already. Not an amazing one, if we're to be honest. And obviously they're slightly different in terms of the batteries. Here we are getting a 2400 mAh in the M4 Aqua versus 2600. Probably a little bit small if you ask me for the Xperia C4. I would have liked probably a 2800 to power that big full HD display, but we'll see how it gets on when I use the device a little bit more, and hopefully it should give quite good talk time. It's I think rated for up to 11.5 hours on 3G versus the M4 Aqua, which is 13 hours. Which the M4 Aqua is actually quite fantastic when it comes to the battery life. Not had an issue when it comes to this phone for that. So both of them come with all the bells and whistles, like the latest GLONASS, NFC, etc. So pretty nice there. And obviously both come with 13 megapixel cameras. As I said, I will do a separate video checking that out, see how they perform. Which none of them obviously optical image stabilized, none of them supporting 4K unfortunately, but you do get your augmented reality and all that good stuff in there. The big difference, however, with the C4 is that the phone is actually kind of geared towards selfieism. So you can see we do have this massive front-facing camera on the C4. Actually, the M4 Aqua has a 5 megapixel front-facing camera, which is the same as like 5 megapixel on the C4, but you can see that the sensor is absolutely huge compared to the one on the M4 Aqua. So I'll definitely be checking that out, as well as how the flash kind of helps when it comes to the kind of lower light situations. And so I think finally, in terms of the software, very similar here, both running Android Lollipop 5.0, so with Sony skin obviously, so you do get quite a lot in terms of the Sony integration here. If you have a look into the music app, you can see we do have a little bit more, I think, so far when it comes to the C4. You can see we do have this headphones customization a little bit more, which is nice. So I think that maybe the software looks a little bit more, you get like a little bit more with the C4 here, that as well as the screen customization. So yeah, that I think about covers it. As I said, I will do a separate video checking out the speed and performance of these two for those who are interested, but just a quick little comparison here then between the Xperia C4 and the M4 Aqua. Hope you did enjoy, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.